Hello and welcome to this channel about cryptocurrency education. Today I'd like to talk about Cardano, talk about some positive things around Cardano, and also want to mention why Cardano will be worth $1.5 trillion at some point and therefore be more valuable than silver is today. And you can see all the market caps of basically all assets here on this chart or on this overview. We can see that gold is leading with 11.5 trillion US dollars market cap. Then we've got some stocks, including, some tech stocks like Amazon. Then we can see silver with a value of 1.4 trillion US dollars. And at some point now, we can see Bitcoin actually already on the 9th position here with a market cap of 739 billion. And the overall crypto market cap is currently at its all-time high. In May, we had a market cap of nearly 2.5 trillion US dollars. So looking at this chart or this overview here, we would have been with 2.5 trillion. We would have been, pretty much where Apple sits at the moment. But that would have been all cryptos together. Now let's take a look at some of the market caps today. As we just saw, Bitcoin market cap around 750 billion, and the Cardano market cap, what I want to focus on today, has a market cap of 44 billion roughly. Now, why do I believe that at some point in the future, and we're not talking next year, we're talking 5 to 10 years, Cardano will be worth more than silver is today. Now, I base my thoughts on the stock to flow model. If you don't know what the stock to flow model is, I talked about this in previous videos. It is a chart that shows the current supply of Bitcoin and also the price of Bitcoin and relates it. So it has predicted the price of Bitcoin pretty accurately in the past, and it is quite accurate at the moment. And it actually predicts a price of Bitcoin of $1 million US dollars in 5 to 10 years time. Now, looking at the Bitcoin price where we are today, that is an increase of 25x from around 40,000 to 1 million. That is 25x. So looking at Cardano then with 138, if I assume that Cardano will 25x, where will we land? Let's take a look. So we go with 25 by 1, just take 138. That will take us to a Cardano price of $34. However, Cardano is a bit different. So I don't assume that if Bitcoin goes to 1 million, that Cardano will just follow. I believe Cardano, and that's my personal point of view, I believe that Cardano will outperform Bitcoin as it has done in the past. And there are people talking about Cardano price of $100. I've even seen Cardano price of $1,000 being predicted, whereas I think, to be honest, that is not very realistic, at least not the next 5 to 10 years. But I believe a price of $50, even $100, I think, is something that could happen. But let's just say, right, we take a price of $50 for Cardano. So if we take a price of $50 for Cardano, which is based on the development of Bitcoin going to 1 million per Bitcoin, and the fact that, or the assumption that Cardano will outperform Bitcoin, if we have a price of $50 per ADA coin, then with a supply of, and I just take the current supply because I'm not 100% sure where the supply will be in 5 to 10 years time, but let's just take the current supply just to keep it simple, and it will go up anyway, but that would take us to a market cap of over 1.5, even over 1.6 trillion US dollars. I believe that will happen in the next 5 to 10 years based on the stock to flow model, based on what I can see at the moment with crypto prices, and the assumption that Bitcoin will go to $1 million, and the other assumption that Cardano will outperform Bitcoin. And then I believe with a price of $50 per ADA in 5 to 10 years, I don't think that is unrealistic. I actually think that at some point we will see $100 between 5 and 10 years in the future. That is why I invest in crypto and in Cardano, especially in the long term. We also shouldn't forget one main reason for me why Cardano will outperform Bitcoin is that Cardano has a real use case. I mean, Bitcoin, it is more of an asset, whereas Cardano ADA has actually, a real use case. It is a platform, it's an ecosystem on which, again, other cryptos can build, other projects, dApps, and smart contracts can run on Cardano. So it's a complete ecosystem, including NFTs will be possible at some point in the future. So there is much more actual use case compared to Bitcoin. And also, I think that Cardano will overtake Ethereum at some point. So it might even go above $50. I already said, I believe $100. It is not unrealistic. It is very optimistic, but I don't think it is unrealistic. Please always bear in mind, whatever I tell you here is, I would say, for entertainment purposes, but it is nevertheless what I believe. You should never take this, to base any of your financial decisions on, but you can use that to, come up with your own thoughts and come to your own conclusions with regards to your finances and make your own financial decisions based on these informations. But please always do your own research and come to your own conclusions. But nevertheless, I think that would be great. I mean, if we talk about Cardano, 1.6 trillion with a price of $50, don't forget it might actually be higher because I based it on the information of the current supply of ADA. We know that at some point that will go up to 45 billion. I don't know exactly when that number will be reached, but I think it's somewhere 30-40 years away from now. And then so we can assume that actually we will in maybe 5 to 10 years time, maybe we have something like 37 billion ADA. Somewhere there is a calculation how you can actually calculate that, but I didn't find that now, so you can find that on the internet somewhere. But actually then if we talk about 1.6 trillion market cap, that doesn't mean it will be more valuable than silver in 5 to 10 years time. I think silver will kick off as well at some point, but at least it will be more valuable than silver is today. And it's just a nice visualization, I think. And we shouldn't forget that all of these here will probably go up as well. Maybe not all of them, but certainly some of them or most of them, and Bitcoin as well, of course. So looking at Bitcoin, if it goes 25x from here, that market cap will just go through the roof, will overtake gold. I guess it will overtake gold, yes, but gold may also go up in value. It will be very interesting what will happen in the next 5 to 10 years. It will be a real disruption to the traditional markets because this whole new asset class of cryptocurrencies will just disrupt everything. It will change the entire world, and I think we can't even imagine what will be possible. I mean, visualize it like in the beginning of the internet, and it is quite similar because also at the time there were talks about so many companies that, some companies will make it, some companies won't make it, but basically back then everybody invested in sort of any company. But I think people have become more intelligent these days. There are strong communities related to the cryptocurrencies with a real use case, like Cardano, like Ripple, like Ethereum as well, also like VeChain, for example, and Quant. I talked about that in another video. But these are projects with a real use case that have the potential to change the world. I would never invest in I would say shitcoin. Maybe I would a small amount just for speculation purposes, but then I always only invest the money that I can afford to lose. To be honest, that's always the case with everything. You shouldn't invest anything that you can't lose, because especially the crypto market is very risky. But then if you know about a project, if you know all about a project, or as much as you can know about projects like Cardano, for example, you are more confident with your investing decisions, and you get less, you're panicking. You don't panic when prices go down. You need to understand bear markets, bull markets, and everything. And yeah, I just thought I'll share my thoughts about that with you. I think it's quite interesting to visualize that, and especially assuming that Cardano will overtake Ethereum one day. All right, so hopefully you liked the video. If you did, please smash the like button. And if you want to follow me on this crypto journey, then please smash the like button and subscribe. Thanks a lot. Bye.